Let's continue with the solution part that we discussed in the previous section. So here is the solution that we discussed. So we read the first character in the input, which is 2, and we generate the combinations A, B, C, and then we move on to the next character 3. Then we again look to the dictionary, what all the mappings that we have, which is D, E, F, so on and so forth. The only thing to keep in mind here is we basically need to keep track of at which level we are in. So we start with level equal to 0, which is at the first character, and then we get all the possible combinations from the dictionary, which is A, B, and C. Now that we have all those combinations, we pick one character, which is A, and try to append to your prefix, which will be empty plus A will be A. And then we again call the same function with incrementing the level equal to 1. Now that we are at 3, we again basically have three possible combinations D, E, F. So now we are at D. So we basically combine A and D, which will form AD. Now we again increment the level equal to level plus 1, which will be 2. Now that the level is equal to the input dot length, we don't have to call the function again. So we need to stop here and add the prefix to the result set. So let's see how this works in the coding. So now what did I say? I did mention that let's assume you have a dictionary which is already defined something like this. Your 2 maps to ABC, 3 maps to DEF, something like this, right? So now let's continue with the recurse function. So let's write the base condition first. So if your level is equal to input dot length, that means we have reached the end of the tree for one particular combination. That means we are done with generating one particular combination. We don't have to recurse in that case. So what we are going to do is we are going to add this to our result set. Result set dot add whatever the prefix that we generated, we add it to the result set. Now else. Let's move on to else part. So in the else part, what we are going to check? So we are initially the level is equal to 0 and your prefix is equal to 1, and your input is 2, 3. So let's write here. So your input is 2, 3, and your prefix is empty, and your level is 0. So to get the character 2 from this string, what do we need to do? So we read the character at this particular level from the input string. So there is a function char at inside string. You can use that function to get the character. So input dot char at this particular level. Now let's read this variable into a character C. Right, now that we have 2 in our hand, the next thing is to read what is the particular value associated to this character in our dictionary. So dictionary dot get of C. Let's read this into a string by name value. So now that you have this value, what we can do is we can iterate through this value. Why we are adding a for loop here? Why we are adding a for loop here is because you need to basically iterate through each and every combination. The first iteration would be A, the second iteration would be B, this third iteration would be C. So in the first iteration, once you read this A, you basically append your empty prefix to this current character and then call the function again. So you need to recursively call the function inside the for loop. So the value dot length, and what we are going to do inside this is call the function again, recurse with the input, and prefix should be appended with the current character, which is nothing but value dot char at I, which will give me A, and level we need to increment it, which is nothing but level plus 1, and that's it. So in the public static void main, so you basically need to call this function. Your input would be 2 3, let's say. Your prefix would be empty, your level would be 0, and you print out the result once it is done. So let's see. Right, it generated all the possible combinations: AD, AF, BD, BE, CD, CE, CF. That's it. So you can add 2 3 and 7 also and generate all those combinations here. Alright guys, I think this is a solution. I'll upload to my GitHub link. You can have a look at there, and if you have any questions, please post it on my channel. Thank you.